Hey guys, so this is the last part of the Theory Workbook Level 1B, the last few pages. We're doing 29 to 31. So starting on page 29, this part's pretty easy. It was just kind of dealing with those ledger line notes and then reviewing basically all of the possible notes in the right hand, the left hand, all the ones we've covered. Of course, you could go even lower or higher with more ledger lines, but it's just these ones. So I think this part will be pretty easy, right? Just identify, just make sure you remember which clef sign you're dealing with when you're moving through there. All right, so the harder parts will be pages 30 and 31. And basically this is just a review of everything that you've done so far in this book. The first part is just identifying, right? So say the note and the flat or the sharp that appears. So like this one would just be a B flat. Check out your clef sign, B flat, right? So just don't do it all in treble clef because that would be confusing. Second section, give the enharmonic equivalent. And again, enharmonic means it's the same sound, just a different name. So this one, we're in treble clef. This is an E flat, right? So you're just figuring out on the piano, like if you're looking at an E flat, another name for that same key. So E flat's here. You could also call it a D sharp, right? So you're going to do two things. You're going to draw one, right? Here's your D just underneath. Make sure it ends up being the same D. If you stick it up like here, that D sharp, that would be in a different octave. Doesn't work out. So that D sharp, and then the name. And just remember, if you're writing the note, the sharp or the flat goes before the note. When you're writing the letters, it goes after. Right? That's just common practice. Okay, and then if you forget how to do that, if you want to refer back to page 12, it just kind of runs you through that. All right, and then section 3, this is about key signatures. So there's just 3 of them, a single sharp, no sharps and no flats, and a single flat. And if you forget those, right, look back at pages 14 and 15. The 3 possibilities are basically C major, G major, and F major, right? So just remembering which one's which. So on the top line, you're writing what flats or sharps are there, and then what key that would be underneath. Okay, section 4, using whole notes, build each interval up from the given notes below. So just make sure you're going upwards. And if you need to look back, this is pages 17 to 18. So basically, you're just counting lines and spaces. That's 1. This would be a second. The next line is a third, fourth, fifth. So you're just building with a whole note. So no stems needed, right? Just a circle. All right, next section 5, write the beats or counts under the following example. And this is that 3-2 time signature. So again, if you need to look back, this is pages 20 to 21. So if there's a 2 on the bottom, your half note's 1 count. So as you're counting these, this would be 1, 2, 3, right? And if you have eighth notes, you can go ahead quarter notes, treat them like eighth notes. It's 1 and 2 and, right? You can stick them anywhere, but especially label every single note that you see. All right, and rests, right? You get some rests too. On to the next page, 31. So this part is counting in 6/8 time. If you need to refer back, page 28 had that. So you're just counting 6 eighth notes. This is where 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, and then this is the other 3, right? So it's basically 3 plus 3, and you'll see those. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. All right, and then number 7, name each blocked chord below. Those are the 4 possible names, right? Don't be too creative. It's got to be one of those 4. And then identify the chord position, which of those inversions or root position it is. Looking at the shape of it, that's just root position. You've got a nice little stack. Something like this where you've got a 4th, then you're inverting. But this would be root position, which means that the root of the chord is right on the bottom. That's an F. Right. If you've got an inversion, just remember, look for the 4th, and the top of the 4th gives you the root. Right. So that one is also an F triad, but it's in a different inversion. And again, you can look back at pages 26 to 27 if you're stuck. The next one, page 25, would kind of give you some rundown about broken chords. It's the same thing as a blocked chord. It's just 1 note at a time from the bottom up, typically. This one is a lot like this. This is bass clef, right? This is, if you stacked these, you would see line, line, line. If you stacked them here vertically, same thing. This is root position, right? And the bottom note is an F. All right, so you can see a lot of these are root position, but that one, you've got space, space, line. There's a 4th in there, so just watch for those. And then the last little chunk, number 9, match the correct definition with each musical symbol. So you're just taking those symbols and finding the definition and sticking it over there. So for example, the sharp sign, if you look at all these little possibilities, right, raise a note a half step. Next key to the right should be that one. So we're going to stick that letter B right here. Right, so everything should fit in there. If you want to cross it out as you go, so you know what you've used. If you get stuck anywhere in here, the very last page, if you flip it over, there's a big glossary that kind of helps you with all these little terms that might come up. All right, so that's it. If you have any questions, email anytime, let me know. Once you send me this one, I can send you the final exam. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.